Hello, beautiful people. My name is Rachel, and thanks for stopping by. I cannot tell you how much I have been wanting to film this video for you guys, and I am so excited now that I'm sitting down to actually do it, and I can't wait to post this. But before I get started, I do want to give a disclaimer, and I do want to say that this video is about death and dying, and I know that can be a really sensitive topic, so if that's something that you don't want to hear about or you're just not into, then you should probably click off of this video. But I really hope that you stay tuned because this is one of the weirdest things that's ever happened to me, and I really like to talk about it despite the circumstances that it happens in. It's a really cool thing to talk about, and I want to share it with you guys. I also want to say that I am going to leave out details about names and personal information because I know that a lot of people who watch my videos know me personally, and I don't want to identify a lot of these people. There are some that I'll tell you who they are, but I'm not gonna name names or anything just because I don't want to be insensitive to those people's close friends or their family or anyone like that. I want to also say that I have experienced people close to me dying, and I'm not insensitive to death. I have mourned these deaths, and everyone mourns differently, and everyone deals with things in a different way, so please don't watch this and think, oh god, Rachel is heartless, because I promise I'm not. So, as the title suggests, I think I can see the future, which is crazy. I'm not a psychic or anything. I can't tell you specific details of the future, so don't come for me asking me to tell you your future. But let me explain how this works. So when I was younger, people always told me, okay, I don't say people always told me because a lot of people don't know this. Someone somewhere told me that if you have a dream that someone is pregnant, then in your real life, someone is going to die. And I was also told the reverse of that, that if you had a dream that someone was dead or dying, that meant that someone in real life was going to get pregnant. And apparently has something to do with the connection between life and death and that crossover, and that the universe, God, whatever you believe in, or don't believe in, that is whatever that is to you, way of telling you that something is going to be changing. Someone's going to die, someone's gonna have a baby. But my dreams that I have in particular are the pregnancy dreams. So I dream that someone's pregnant and then someone in real life dies. And they're always someone that I know, or I know someone who's very close to them. The majority of the people that I have the dreams about, I have some sort of far off relation to. But I'm gonna go through the list because I'm sure some of you are like, yeah, okay, Rachel, sure. But the first experience I ever had with this, I had a family friend and we were at the beach, and she woke up and she was like, oh, I had a dream last night that I was pregnant, or someone was pregnant in her dream. And I was like, oh, that means someone's gonna die, which kind of an insensitive thing to say, but at the time I didn't realize it. It was more of a joke to me because I'd never had any of these dreams before, and this hadn't started happening to me. Well, a few days later, her grandma actually had a surgery and ended up passing away, and I didn't think anything about it until our moms were at lunch, and her mom was like, do you remember when Rachel said that? And they were like, whoa, that's a little weird. And then ever since then, things have been really starting to pick up. So the first dream that I ever had was my freshman year, and I didn't really put two and two together until later, but I did realize that. So I had a dream someone was pregnant, and a childhood friend of mine, their parent passed away, and that was the first one. And like I said, I didn't think too much about it until it was actually 2 falls ago, and the craziest one of all has happened. I remember it was football season. I was at a football game with my friends, and my sister texted in our family group chat. She was like telling this dream that she had about how she was in labor and all of this stuff. And of course I said, oh, that means someone's gonna die. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Well, 2 days later, I also had a dream that someone was pregnant, and I told my family, and I was like, something bad is gonna happen. Like, we both had these dreams. That's really weird. Well, so usually the way it works is it's usually about 2 to 4 days after I have the dream is when someone passes away. Usually if it's a little longer than that, no one does. I have had a couple dreams where someone was pregnant and then no one died that I was aware of. But so my sister and I had these dreams 2 days apart. It was probably 3 or 4 days after her dream. Someone from our hometown died, and it was like a really tragic event, and it impacted a lot of people. And I was like, oh, that must be why, we both had that dream. And we were a little freaked out by that. Well, then 2 days later, remember, I had my dream 2 days after my sister, I had a cousin pass away. And I was like, this is really weird. And I've always heard that people die in threes. And so I was like, oh great, someone else is gonna die. And believe it or not, a few days later, I had a great aunt pass away. And so we were like, okay, that was a 3. But unfortunately, I had another distant family member. I believe she was also like a long distant cousin or a great aunt. I can't remember exactly. But the 3 women, my cousin, great aunt, and my other great aunt that passed away, they were all on the same side of the family. So I think personally that was a 3. I think my sister had the dream for the person in my hometown who died, and I had the dream for the other 3. Since then, my sister has not had any more pregnancy dreams that have unfolded the way that mine do. But that was just the beginning, and that was a really, really weird time. And I think that was the event that really made me believe that this is real. And I know some of you probably think I'm insane, but I promise this is real. I talk about this a lot. Ask my mom. I think my mom will vouch for me. If you don't believe me, my mom will tell you. So the next dream that I had was a little different than the ones that I normally have, and I have a theory about why that happened. So this is the one that's a little more personal, and I'm gonna go into a little bit more detail just because I think that I have that right to, since it was like someone who's really close to me. But this past fall, my grandmother passed away, and I did not have a pregnancy dream before she died, but I went to sleep one night and I had this dream, and my aunt was in it and my grandma was in it. And my aunt came up to me in my dream and told me that my grandma had passed away. And it was a very vivid dream. We were in like this really bright, white, beautiful room, and it was like a hotel. Like there was a front desk and a receptionist, and my grandma was in it. My aunt told me that, and so I wake up and I'm like, oh, someone's gonna be pregnant. I reach for my phone to text my family, because I always do that when I have those dreams. And the first message that I see is from my mom telling me that my grandmother had passed away that night. So she passed away like earlier in the night, and my mom and dad didn't find out until a little bit later, and she didn't text me until the morning. So, or she might have texted me that night, I don't really remember. But I did not receive or see that message before I went to sleep. I do not check my phone in the middle of the night. I put it down. I don't check it until morning. There was no way I could have seen that message. And we're not even sure if I had the dream before or after that message was actually sent. But the reason that I think my aunt came to me in the dream telling me that was because I was sick at the time. I had a really, really bad head cold. And I think that, so you know how like... if you lose a sense, so like if you go blind, your hearing is supposed to like strengthen or something like that. Like they're supposed to do that. So I see this kind of in the reverse way. So that sense, my extra sense of knowing when people are going to die, was weakened because like my body was focusing on something else, which was healing my sickness and getting me better. And it was so, so weird. And that's why I think that dream came late and I didn't have the pregnancy one, is because like whatever reason is that I get those dreams, it was delayed because I had something else pretty severe going on with my body. So the next dream that I had had a dream someone was pregnant. 2 days later, someone in my community also passed away, and that was really weird. And this always happens. Like, I'll text my family and like, had the dream, and then a couple days later I'll get a text, usually from my mom, being like, this person passed away. And it's just mind-blowing because it's been happening. I feel like as time passes, it gets worse and worse and worse, and it's scary. Like, I wake up from having these dreams and I'm like, oh no, like, what's gonna happen next? I feel really anxious even talking about this. Like, I feel weird right now, and I feel like if you watch my other videos, you might be able to tell like a little difference in how I am. I don't know, I feel weird right now. This is weird actually talking about it. I talk about this a lot, but being on camera and talking about it, I was like more excited, but now I'm like Okay, I'm gonna save, I don't want to say the best one, but the most interesting one for last. So I had a dream, but I'm gonna skip over that and then come back to it. So the last dream that I actually had, I'm not sure if this counts, but I had a dream one night that someone was pregnant, and I wake up and later I find out that that was the day that Juice WRLD died. Like, he died the day after I had the dream. I don't know if my dreams are like going to celebrities. Like, I don't know if that connection can be made, because so far it's just been people in my life. But I don't know, I was a Juice WRLD fan, so you never know. That one was a weird one, but it's a little bit of a stretch, so I won't be mad if you don't believe that one. So, ooh, this one's a rough one. So the next one was a really weird, intense dream. It was right before this Thanksgiving break. It is currently January. So this was back in November. And I had this really, really intense, vivid dream that I was pregnant. And in my dream, I was trying to get help from my mom because I was very nervous about being a mom. And in my dream, she wouldn't talk to me. She kept ignoring me. She was mad at me. And I just felt so like lost and confused. And it was really strange. And I didn't really think anything about the fact that I was the one who was pregnant, because in all of my other dreams, it's been someone else who was pregnant. It was never me. But in this dream, it was me. It was so vivid. I can still like see the dream in my head when I think about it. So, during that Thanksgiving break, I'm being emotional. During that Thanksgiving break, my mom was actually hospitalized. She had an emergency surgery and she was in the ICU for over a week, and it was the scariest time of my life. Oh God. And we weren't really sure what was going to happen, and I've never been in a situation where someone that close to me, like my mom was like my best friend, where someone that close to me has like been that close to death. And so my mom's like in her surgery. I'm sitting in the waiting room, and I remember this dream, and I was like, oh my God, like that dream was like gonna be about my mom. So I'm panicking like even more than before. And and I wanted to tell my sister, but like my family believes in my dreams. Like, if I say like I had a dream someone was pregnant, they expect someone to die. And I knew I couldn't tell her that because I knew she was gonna freak out. I wanted to tell my aunt that knows about my dreams, but I didn't want to freak anyone out more than they were already freaking out. So I just sat in silence. I didn't text my friends because I felt like that was appropriate to tell them. But thankfully my mom did not pass away, and she is good now, and that makes me so happy, and I'm so grateful. But someone else in my community did pass away, and that was really sad. I didn't know the person personally, but I did know people impacted, and I can't imagine. But yeah, so that was terrifying. I do not know why I was the one pregnant in that dream. I do not know why my mom was ignoring me in that dream, but let me tell you, what I was going through in that moment was horrifying. And I 110% believe that these dreams are real and that they mean something. And you might think that they're just random coincidences, but I think this happens way too often for it to be coincidences. I like have even tried to do research on this. Like, I swear when I was younger, I googled stuff about it and like would read on it. But if you Google this now, it's very hard to find stuff. If you have dreams like this, please let me know. I want to talk to someone who knows about this, who experiences this. If you have like any input, please comment, DM me, like do anything, because I love talking about this and I would love to learn more about it. Like, can I get rid of this? Can I strengthen this? I don't know which I would rather have. But let me tell you, it is wild, okay? So, I guess that's all I have to say. Maybe sometime I'll have an update video. I don't know. But thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for listening. I hope that I did not offend anyone from this video. This is just my personal experience. Death is a natural thing. It's something that everyone experiences and everyone is impacted by at some point in their lives. But this is just a weird little thing that I've experienced in relation to death, and I wanted to tell you guys about it because, like, despite the fact that people are dying, like, it's pretty cool, right? You know what I mean? I don't want to sound insensitive because, okay, I've said that so many times, but I hope you guys know that I told these with the best intentions, with a clean heart, a pure heart, whatever. So don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Make sure that you never miss one of my videos. And other than that, I will see you next time. Bye!